Hello everyone, Vanguard of Valor here, and welcome back to Into the Breach. Well, this time around we're going to be starting a new run, but this one is going to be just a little bit trickier than before. Let's hop into our new game and see exactly what we're going to be dealing with, and we'll go from there. So we're not starting with the Rusting Hulks today. First things first, we're going to change up our squad. We have 6 squads remaining that we can unlock with a variety of different mechs and abilities to work our way through. But what we're going to be doing for now is starting off with the Zenith Guard. Detritus's beam technology and Pinnacle's shield technology create a powerful combination. What I've heard is a combination that is quite troublesome, in fact. But we will give it a try and see what happens. Let's go. So what are we dealing with here? We got a laser mech. Quite like the look of him. Reminds me a lot of Metal Gear robots. We have a burst beam on him. Fires a piercing beam that decreases in damage the further it goes. Interesting. So just 3 damage closest to us, then 2, then 1 every tile after that. Hurts allies and terrain. Interesting. What else do we have? We have a little tank guy here with ramming engines. He flies in a line, slams into the target, pushes it, and hurting ourself. Ooh. That's nasty. Does 2 damage to the target, but 1 damage to itself, and only has 3 health to begin with. And we also have a defense mech here, which has an attraction pulse, a science class weapon that pulls the target towards us by 1 tile, and a shield projector, which shields 2 tiles from damage. Since it's an artillery-style attack, it also probably can't attack the tile right next to it, and we can only use it twice in a battle. It also only has 2 health, but it does fly. Interesting. Now, I have a feeling that this 5 health is because of Camilla, so it's actually 3. Now, what are our achievements here? We have to kill an enemy by pulling it into ourselves. The Get Over Here achievement. We have Glittering Sea Beam, hitting 4 enemies with a single laser. That sounds like it might require some finagling to make happen. And Shield Mastery, blocking damage with a shield 4 times in a single battle. Interesting. If this hits 2 tiles, it can only be used twice. That's block something perfectly with every shield. That does sound like a challenge. Now, we also have our time traveler here, Camilla Vera. Her mech is unaffected by webbing or smoke. She starts with an additional mech reactor and 2 mech HP. Now, it's going to be pretty useful, I think. We're probably going to want to put her on the charge mech, actually. If this thing does damage to herself, putting that health up to 5 is going to be a big difference over having 3 HP. So we're probably going to put her on there for now, even though typically you'd want her on the mech that doesn't likely to kill anything, so the other guys can get experience. Having that bonus HP on the charge mech right away is probably important. And then the last big challenge here, we're playing the game on hard. Increased spawn rates and more alpha vec. Oh boy. This might not be a good time, but let's start the game and find out. A second timeline, and another chance to save it like we did before. I can do this. We can do this. Alright, we got 4 islands available to us. First things first, though, let's move our pilots around, because I think we want Camilla to be on the charge mech at least right away. We could actually bump it up to 7 health right off the start, which I think is a little excessive. I think we're going to go for movement. We're probably going to want the maneuverability on this thing. Even though it can dash into enemies, we have to be able to get it into a position to do so. So let's go for movement on there for now, and then put our Amelia Torcasio into our laser mech. We also have Lita piloting the defense mech. Alright, seems good. I think we'll leave it like that for now. And we have 4 islands to choose from. Now, in this version, I think we're probably going to go forest, then either ice or desert, and then finally detritus, because detritus here is definitely the easiest. The acid always makes these late-game enemies more reasonable. But as far as everything else goes, I don't know necessarily what to deal with. We got some nasty bugs here. I think we are going to start with Archive Incorporated, though, so let's head over there and see what Dewey Alms has for us today. We're doing all we can to protect the refugees, but we need your help against the Vec. We'll assist with some of our old Earth artifacts if we can. Alright, Dewey. What do we got here? We got some artifact vaults. We got a research center. Alright, we're probably going to start in the corporate HQ, head into the artifact vaults, and then work our way over this way. The fact that we have a challenge here to already end a battle with less than 4 mech damage is worrying, though, because we have a tank that hurts itself. Let's see what happens, though. Let's go to the artifact vaults and hope for the best.
An offshore volcano is causing tidal waves along the coast, and may help wash away the mech threatening the area.
Well, let's get in there and find out. I have a feeling it won't be quite that easy, but let's go. Alright, so we have a blood scion, which is giving health regeneration to all the other Vec. We have a scarab here, which is giving us that 1 damage artillery shot. And we have a scorpion, which is going to be doing the webbing. Now, on the plus side, Camilla is immune to that kind of attack. On the other plus side, since we have a pull attack here on our defense mech, we may be able to pull these guys directly into the tidal pools, and that may solve some of our problems for us. But for now, let's confirm our placements and see what happens. I'm hoping he comes straight at our tank here. That's what I wanted. Alright. You can't tie us down, because Camilla doesn't care about those kinds of problems, and we should be able to fry out the rest of these guys. Now, we can either kill the Scorpion or the Scarab by pulling them into the water. We can pull the Scorpion directly into the water, or we can pull the Scarab into the water line, so it'll be killed before the turn starts. I think what we're going to do, though, is we're going to pull the Scorpion into the water, because that'll let us use our charge mech to kill this guy, and our laser mech to fry out the blood scion. And that way, none of our mechs are in the water at the end of the turn, except for the one which can fly. In you go, into the drink. Alright, now this guy has 2 health, which means we can adequately smash him with our charge mech. It does give us 1 damage on ourselves, which we're going to have to be careful about, but hopefully we'll be able to take advantage of our shield ability to make that not be the end of the world. For now, though, we're going to end our turn and see what they do. We get a Firefly Alpha. That's not pleasant. You're going in the drink, my friend. Now, unfortunately, the rest of them are also going to give us a hard time. Now, can I charge across the water? Interestingly enough, I can. Even though it'll stop me in the water, I can charge that guy. Now, what I'm thinking here is we're probably going to want to use the defense mech over this way to pull the Alpha Firefly into the high tide line, because that way his 5 health won't be something we have to manually chew through. Then we can bring our charge mech over to slap the Scarab out of the way, and our laser mech can kill the Firefly, or at least attempt to. With 3 health, we'd have to be directly next to it to kill it. And that's not going to happen here. Is there an alternative play we can make, then, that would allow us to better make use of this? Since our guys are massive, they can stop in the water, but they can't shoot there, which means I can't one-shot him. If I had 4 movement, I could get around behind him, but then I'd be shooting through my own building, so that wouldn't help either. As it stands, that's not a great solution. I can, of course, stand here and shoot this one, or stand elsewhere and attack him, but I want to try and avoid taking damage as much as possible, because any attacks that actually hit us mean that we won't be able to take any more damage, which is worrying. Now, we do have victory in 2 turns, so maybe we don't actually need it. If we block some of these spawns, we might be able to get away with this. For example, if I were to move the laser mech over to here and smash this guy, that'll kill him with the laser and block this spawn with the laser mech. Then we can bring the charge mech into this position and shove him into the water line and use the defense mech to pull him into the water. That'll mean we take 1 damage from blocking the spawn and 1 damage from the ram, which will mean we're at 3 mech damage, meaning we cannot take any more to finish the game successfully, but that might be enough. I think we're going to have to try for it, because I don't see how we can do this any other way. Let's send our laser mech into position, vaporize him, Camilla, shove him onto the water line, and we're going to bring our defense mech a bit closer here and pull our Firefly into the water. Alright, end our turn. We are on the verge of being unable to survive any more damage on our own units. But thankfully, he stopped in a tile that does nothing And he can't grab onto us. So we can actually pit both of these guys into the water this turn. Thanks to the awesome attraction mech power here. And that means the rest of us are safe. Alright. Since the tides happen before the enemies get a turn, even though they're threatening something, it doesn't matter. Interestingly enough, this tile looks like it won't be affected by the high tides. Huh. Let's repair our damage just for fun. There we go. Oh. Oh. Interesting. That's good to know about that objective. I thought that was less than 4 mech damage cumulatively, not just ending with less than 4. You learn something new every day. Alright, let's end our turn. Yeah, that island stayed intact. There you go. Okay, well that was a very convenient map for the fact that we had a mech that can pull people forwards. We also got 1,500 civilians protected since we're playing on hard. The troops of old Earth would have been proud, if only they had been here to see it. Interesting. Alright, well we got both of our objectives, and I will take that for sure. What else we got going on here? We can go to Archival Flats, protect the coal plant, end the battle with less than 4 mech damage again. I'm not a huge fan of that objective with this squad, but that's what we're gonna go to. Go get ourselves as many of these objective points as we can, and then hopefully go from there with a strong start. As it stands, though, Archival Flats it is.
Much of old Earth and its history was lost when the oceans rose. We must protect what little is left. If the Vec destroy us, these artifacts may be all that remains of our civilization.
We can protect the coal plant and take less than 4 damage. Okay, well, we can hopefully do that. Might not be quite as nice and easy as last time. We're starting with an Alpha Firefly. I don't like that one bit. Don't like that one bit. Now, we could put our attraction mech over here, but he can't pull into the water space he's standing in, so that's probably not going to be as useful. I have a feeling we're going to want to pile in on this side. If we can shove these guys into the water with the ramming tank, then that'll be great, but they're unlikely to stop on this line because there's nothing to attack over here. Let's confirm this deployment, though, and see what happens. I'm going to switch these. I'm going to switch those. Alright, let's confirm. We have a time pod coming in. Alright, that's a good start. If these guys want to line up in a row, that'd be real great. That kind of counts. That kind of counts. Now, he's got 5 health, which is a lot. What we may want to do here is use our defense mech to shield both of these buildings, use our laser mech to fry this Firefly, and use the charge mech to ram the Alpha Firefly into the other Firefly. It'll do 3 damage to the Alpha, 1 damage to the other Firefly, which isn't incredible. It kills the Firefly over here, but we take no building damage. I can't use the attraction pulse to pull this guy into this one because it is a direct projectile, not an artillery shot, so we can't shoot over the top. Now, alternatively, if I do stand here and laser... Okay, this might be better. If we stand here and fire the laser, we do 2 damage to this one and 1 damage to this one, which also lights this forest on fire. Then we bring the charge mech in and smash this one into this one. That'll do an additional 2 damage, plus 1 collision, plus 1 collision, and then the fire damage kills him before he gets a turn. Then all we have to do is shield these buildings with the defense mech, and that'll make sure that this attack doesn't kill anything, gets rid of 2 guys instead of 1, and also kills the Alpha before anything else spawns. I think that's going to be our play here. I'd love to be able to pick up this time pod, but I don't think it's going to happen right now, so let us get rid of these bugs. Is it best to just stand here? Yeah, it is. We lose a bit of direct damage, but we can make up for that anyway. And I was right, it is like an artillery strike. We can't shoot the tile directly next to us, but we can shoot both of these tiles to protect them. Okay, let's end our turn. Hopefully they don't do anything to our nice little time pod here. They have no reason to stop in this space. Okay, we should be able to deal with this. I don't know if we're going to be able to deal with that, though. That's a lot of nastiness here. So, what we may do here... I actually can't get anyone into position to kill the Scorpion directly, but I can shove him with the charge mech onto this spawn, and that way the spawn will be blocked and he'll be killed. We still can't pick up the time pod, though. We can use the laser mech to fry him. That means the Blood Scion lives for another turn, but the Blood Scion is just giving them the health regeneration at the end of the turn anyway. Actually, at the start of the turn, but after the fire damage. So that doesn't matter a lot as long as we just kill them outright. Although it would mean that this guy wouldn't die, because that's true. He would heal before the enemies emerge, which would put him back up to 2. So that's maybe not the best plan then. Is there a better way to do this? I can still slap him with the charge mech and laser the Blood Scion, then pull this guy so he's hitting the shield instead. That way the Firefly survives with 3 health but doesn't do any damage. They're going to have 2 more spawns that come in next turn, but the Blood Scion's dead, which means the Scorpion actually dies. It also means we'll have 2 mech damage at the end of the turn, which is incredible, but isn't the end of the world for our different objectives here. It still means we can't pick up the time pod, though. I think this is going to be our play, though. It blocks one of the spawns, which means we only have 3 enemies on turn 2. I have a feeling this is going to get out of hand in a hurry, but I think we need to deal with it this way. We don't have the maneuverability with our laser mech to really clear anything else. If we want to kill this thing, we have to slap it with the charge mech onto one of these 2 tiles, and that's not really feasible any other way here. I could use the laser mech to attack him to kill him, use the charge mech on him to kill him, and use the defense mech to pull this guy over this spawn, but that wouldn't kill him. I don't really know what the better option is. It's one of those 2. Either we kill the Blood Scion and the Firefly, or the Blood Scion and the Scorpion. And I think I want to kill the Blood Scion and the Scorpion and block a spawn. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to move our charge mech over to here. Slap the Scorpion over the spawn point. I think I'm actually going to move over 1 tile and laser the Blood Scion. And just to make sure everyone's protected, we pull this guy over 1 so he hits the shield instead of something we actually need. Then we end our turn. I'm worried about this time pod, but we'll see what happens. Block the enemy, that's good. We have an Alpha Scorpion, which I'm not okay with. And a Firefly. Okay. Well, that's not great. On the plus side, I can kind of ignore this, because I can actually just put a shield on him and he'll be okay. Even if I just back up 1 tile or 2 tiles and shield here and here. Oh no, hang on. The second attack would still hit him, so he'd take 1 damage from that. Which is not amazing. Also, with their positioning, I actually can't do anything with the ramming mech just yet. And that's not great either. Because he can't really get into a position to hit any of these guys without damaging our own stuff. What I think we want to do here is actually pretty straightforward. We want to use the defense mech to move up to this position and pull the Alpha Scorpion over 1 tile. Then we take 1 step back with the laser mech and fire the laser at them. That way the... Oh no, it's too much damage. Because if we fire the laser mech at him, I can do 3 to him and 2 to him. And then we can also slap the Alpha Scorpion directly, or otherwise hurt them with the charge mech. But the problem with that is that it doesn't actually let us do what we need. If I attack here, does the damage on our own tile kill the time pod before we pick it up? Or do we pick it up first because we move onto the tile? I could just move here first and then slap him. The big concern I have right now is that we're about to get 3 more enemies spawning in. If I do this charge attack, we won't be able to charge with Camilla next turn because we're going to have damage on us, and that's not going to work. We'll be at 3 total mech damage, and if I attack on that final turn, we'll be at 4. It also means that if I do this, if I attack with Camilla, we can't afford to tank any damage on anybody else if we want to get that objective. So if we want to do that, what I would have to do is probably... I don't like the idea of not killing any of these guys. We need to kill as many of them as possible, and I can't get into a position to kill the Firefly here. Because I kind of need to pull the Alpha Scorpion. Now, we could pull the Alpha Scorpion this way. We have 5 tiles of movement. If I move the charge mech first, then we can actually move the defense mech over to here and pull the Alpha Scorpion so it kills this guy for us. Now, that would mean that the time pod is also destroyed, which I don't like, but it is an option. Now, is there any other better way we can make this happen that will actually benefit us? I don't know. I don't see one. The trick is we really have to free our laser mech so that it can do something interesting this turn. We could have him just vaporize this Firefly, just point-blank shot him, and drop a shield bubble on him with the defense mech by backing it up a tile first, or 2 tiles first, so that it's protected. The problem then would be that our charge mech doesn't really have an efficient play to actually do anything useful, which I don't like a whole lot. The other side is, we don't really have an efficient play no matter what right now. The only efficient play we have is if we clear up the Alpha Scorpion, I can move the charge mech behind him and shove this Firefly into the fire, which means the fire damage kills him. That's probably our best play with the charge mech. It gets rid of an enemy, and it does put us down to a very low amount of health, but at least it kills off an enemy. What I could also do is if I pull the defense mech over here to shove the Alpha Scorpion off this way, then I can use the laser mech to kill the Firefly. Then we'd have an Alpha Scorpion and 3 other spawns on the final turn, which is not good, but it might be the best we can get right now in a way that doesn't also make us take far too much damage to be able to accomplish this objective. It might mean things get out of hand next turn, but I think that might be the best we can do right now. Because at the very least it kills 3 enemies. 2 enemies, leaves us with just 1 enemy. Of course, the 1 enemy that remains happens to be a particularly nasty enemy. But at least... Also, we won't be able to attack with our charge mech. And also, he has 2 attack range? No, he just has 1. Okay, for a second there, I was like, that's not good. But we should be able to survive this. We might not be able to survive it next turn, but I think this is the best setup we can do here for the upcoming turn. Hopefully, they choose to attack us with most of these attacks in a way that we can avoid. Like, hopefully our Alpha Scorpion here goes for Camilla, and we can just walk away. As it stands, though, I don't like this. Alright, well, that's manageable. That's not great. None of those things are good. Okay. Oh boy. Now we have some fun. So what I can do here... Yeah. We're kind of in a rock and a hard place here. There's not really a good way to deal with this. This is exactly what I was worried about. They put us into a position where there's kind of no win out of this. Like, I can shoot the laser here, but it doesn't kill this guy. I can't attack him in a way that doesn't put us over the damage limit. It could come over here and kill both of these, but then also destroy our own buildings, because it doesn't distinguish like that. I could attack this one with the tank, but that puts us over the damage limit. We can easily survive this turn. We can absolutely survive the turn. The question is, moreover, can we do it without losing our less than 4 mech damage objective? That one's really hard with this team. We just got it twice in a row. Like, this guy's a problem. If we can kill the Scorpion here, I can absolutely maneuver these guys so that one of them doesn't get to hit, but I can't really easily maneuver both of them, and I can't shield both of these buildings at once. I could alternatively just shield this building, these two buildings, so that the Alpha Scorpion doesn't kill anything. Tank this hit, use the laser to kill the Scarab, and use the charge mech to kill this Scarab. That way, the only thing that gets hit is the defense mech. This building is shielded, and generally we'd be fine, but it does mean we would take too much damage, because we'd take at least 5. I don't think we can mitigate that, though. I don't think there's a way around taking more damage here, which sucks, but there's just too much going on this map for us to otherwise clear them all out. I think this is the best play. It would be cool if we had more options to maneuver around without getting stuck like this, but we have to lose our reputation star. On the plus side, we don't lose anything else. We also protect the time pod, and as soon as we have more power, we should be better positioned to do this. But it sucks having to fail that one right off the bat. Either way, mission complete. I'm told you need to divert 3 teams of engineers to repair your mechs. The engineering teams have more than enough on their plates already. Yeah, well, you know what? It was that, or I could have let your civilians die. So we got ourselves 1 less reputation, which is really bad, because it also means we don't get that all accomplishments bonus on the first island, which is a big deal. But we protected the coal plant and protected the time pod. What do we have in the time pod? Just a reactor core. Well, it'll have to do. If we're going to put this reactor core to use, where do we want it? Probably not on the 1 damage each bonus here. That probably is not a good idea. But I may want to put it on allies immune to our own lasers. I don't know if that works on buildings, but making our allies immune is probably important. Or more movement. I think I actually want more movement. Let's install this on the laser mech and give him more mobility, because this thing really needs you to be positional. So that should help a lot. Let's do one more here, just for an extra long first episode. We're going to go to the library, where the Vec threat is detected, or we have to defend the satellite launches. Let's go. We've been planning to launch these satellites for quite some time. I hope your mechs can keep the Vec from sabotaging our efforts. I hope so too. This is a nasty looking map for us, but let's get in here and see what we can do. Alright. We have a Prime Alpha Scarab already. That's nasty. And I'm going to put you here. Alright, let's confirm our positioning, and hopefully nobody important will die. Well, I love how these Scorpions have been very convenient with always attacking the person who is immune to that kind of attack. I am down with this. So, first turn is going to be pretty straightforward. We're going to slap this guy into a mountain. He is done. Job done. I want to test something here. It does still damage buildings. That makes this not quite as good as I might have hoped. But it's not the end of the world. Now, how do I want to kill this guy? I think we want to kill him in a very silly way. I think we walk up point blank with the laser mech, blast him for 3, take our defense mech beside him, and pull him into ourselves for the Get Over Here achievement. I mean, it's not the cleanest, but it does the job. And now all we have to do is not let our defense mech die. But let's end our turn and see what happens. They've primed missile number 1 here for launch, which means this guy is going to immediately die. Okay, how do we want to deal with this then? We know the missile launch happens after they take their maneuver, which is unfortunate. It means I can't just let him shoot, because, well, I can. He can damage the missiles, I just have to not let him destroy them. So I can let him just shoot, and then he'll be killed by the missile launch. This Scorpion over here is a bit of trouble, though. I can actually kill both of these if I... No, I can't get the charge mech around. I was going to say, if I get the charge mech past him, I can slap the Scorpion over here, then use the laser mech to fry both of them. I can still kill both of them if I do it in the reverse order instead. If I bring the laser mech over here, fire 3, 2, and 1, and then slap him with the charge mech, That'll work as well. Blood Scion gets to live a little bit longer, but I'm kind of okay with that. I wonder if I can shield this, too. If I can shield the satellite rocket, then it wouldn't even matter, but he doesn't get another turn, so I think this is the safest play. Just make sure that these guys are cleared out. Now, he is on fire, too, but that won't be enough to kill him, so Camilla is going to boop him down. Now, is there anything we want to do with the Blood Scion here? I kind of don't think so. I could put a shield on myself defensively, but I think instead I'm actually going to repair our defense mech. I think that's going to make more sense. Means that we're a little bit more survivable next turn. And I'm also going to move, so I'm not standing right next to that rocket. That sounds like a good idea to me. Let's stand here, so that if they come to attack me, then the rocket will kill them for me. Alright, end our turn. The rocket launch blew up the mountain. What do you know? 2 fireflies, 1 scorpion. Well, the Scion has decided it doesn't want to live anymore. Alrighty then, we have 2 turns left. This missile actually hasn't primed, so while I thought this would work, it actually will not, because that guy's not going to die anytime soon. Now, as far as these enemies go, what I could do is stand in the fire and pull this Scorpion one towards me, but if I do that, I can't quite kill them all, because the laser mech could stand here and fire the laser this way, dealing 3 damage and then 2 damage, which he would survive, or I could pull him... No, I could just shoot this way too, kill this one outright, fire that way. Problem is, I don't know if we can kill more than 2 of these enemies this turn, because the defense mech has very limited attack capabilities, which is a little problematic. I can slap this guy over one, so his attack would hit this enemy, but that way he only has 1 health left, and I can actually kill them both. That's probably better. Then all I have to do is move the laser mech out of the way so he attacks this one and blocks this spawn for us. I think that's the play. Alright, oh no, I can't attack this way because of the buildings. I have to attack the other way, which is not quite as good, but we're still going to do it. As much as I'd love to be able to attack this way, it'll kill our own buildings, which we don't want, so I'm going to have to settle for a slightly suboptimal play. Leaves him with 1 HP, but so goes. Then we come over to this side and pull the Firefly over the spawn, so he also attacks the Blood Scion for us, which should be fine. He'll be down to 2 HP because he's going to regenerate from the Blood Scion, but we have limited murder capabilities right now, so I will take the most survivable method as it stands. Shoots a mountain for us, shoots his friend for us, blocks the spawn, the last rocket is primed, we have another scarab to deal with. But so far, I'm okay with all of their target selection. It is not very good. I am okay with all of that. So what we're going to do is we're going to let our laser mech get a double kill. There we go. Gets a level up, which gives us 1 mech move, which is actually really nice. This mech can really use that mobility. Now, I could kill these guys myself, or I can actually just take no damage and let the rocket kill them. That's even better, because it'll share the experience between both Amelia and Lita, which is quite good for us right now. Let's end our turn. Actually, let's just repair ourselves for fun. End turn. We lost our shield, but they lost their lives. We'll take it. Okay. That one went a lot smoother. When we can take any amount of damage on our units, that makes things a lot more reasonable. Perfect. We're already getting data back from the satellites in orbit. Excellent job. We'll be able to spot the Vec before they attack. 1 more movement, which is a great ability for us, and access to the central museums. Alright, so far, hard mode has definitely been harder, but it hasn't been impossible. It doesn't help that we've been getting end with less than 4 mech damage on a bunch of our objectives here, given that we have to take damage on ourselves to do anything, but we'll deal with that as we go. Either way, this is it for now. I look forward to seeing you guys next time. Let me know what you thought about our run so far in the comments below. And until then, bye-bye.